Hello, my spiritual friends, and welcome to today's live stream. I'm Cynthia Clark, and I am your spiritual mentor and multidimensional palmist. And I am really excited today to talk about how to know if you are in divine time. So, we are going to start out our live stream today with just anchoring in love energy so that this benefits everybody who is watching, whether it's live or on a replay. So, my spirit guides told me to create anchors. Um, and this would bring it into all of the locations of where everybody is. So I hope that's going to be fun for you guys. So, anchor number one is I anchor love deep into the earth so that all may know the ascension path. Anchor number two, I anchor my intention of enlightenment to the whole planet so that individuals may choose the ascension path. And anchor number three, I anchor healing and karma balancing to the whole planet so that individuals may accelerate in the ascension path. And so it is. All right. So those are our anchors for today. And so let's do a little talk about what we've got going on. So, divine time, what is the difference between divine time and regular time? Right? We live in a third dimensional plane of existence. And my guides came to me one night, and I do a process called automatic writing. And they help me to understand things about the universe and how things work and how to create more abundance in your life. And ultimately, that's what it's all about. We want to manifest a better life for ourselves. We want to be more in harmony with ourselves, with our divine selves. This is what all my channelings are about. So they came to me one night and told me some information. So, this is what they said about divine time. They said, being in flow with how and not when something comes into alignment for you. Okay, so they said that there was an acronym for divine, and divine stands for divine interception, victorious in nebulous environment. So I thought that was quite a mouthful that they gave me there. And so, victorious in nebulous environment. Okay, so that means that a nebula is the birthplace of stars. It's where stars go to be born and come into being. And so if we're in divine time and we're in a nebulous environment, then we are birthing something into this environment, right? So we're creators, we're co-creators, and we're here all the time co-creating, whether we realize it or not. Okay. So and the keys, of course, are to pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your reactions. So, if you have negative thoughts around time, you're going to create scenarios where you are late all the time. Right? So, let me give you an example. Um, Sometimes we get rushed and we feel like, oh my gosh, I have all these things I need to do. Time is not linear. Time can actually speed up and slow down based upon our intentions and our needs. So, I was going through a divorce a few years ago, just to give this example, and it had snowed about 9 inches. I was living in Colorado at the time, which is kind of interesting because we just got 8 inches of snow today here in Sedona, which is really crazy. We never get this much snow. And anyway, I had to be at a courthouse at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't be late. And it was about an hour's drive to go from where I was in Aspen to Glenwood Springs. So I wiped off my car. I got up super early too because I knew it had snowed, and I knew I needed to give myself extra time, right? And so what happened was I got stuck in the snow. My tires got stuck. I mean, it was just really horrible. It was like the worst case scenario that you can imagine. It's like I have to be at this courthouse. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it, right? And so I had a voice tell me, my spirit guides or my angels, they came to me and they told me, "Don't look at the clock. Do not look at the clock. You are going to be on time." And they wanted me to repeat that that invocation, that those words of power, "I am on time." And so I finally got my car dug out of the snow, and I had a tremendous amount of stress, right? I was just really, really stressed, but I was listening to my guides, and at the time I was like, okay, let's just do our best, right? That's all you can do anyway, right? We just do our best. So I kept repeating, "I am on time. I am on time. I am on time." And I got in my car. I did not look at the clock the entire time. I did try to drive as fast as I could safely, obviously, because I felt the pressure. And I ended up getting there at 9:01 in the morning. So I was only 1 minute late, and that's my dog there. um, you never know with these live streams. Um, he's all riled up today because of all the snow. Anyway, so I ended up only being 1 minute late, and it was an amazing experience. And it really taught me that you can manipulate time. And this was amazing too, because there is no way I should have been on time. There is no way. So, um, hey, yeah, I'm live, hun.
Sorry, sorry, guys.
um, so anyway, we have ways to manipulate time when we really need to. And sometimes there are circumstances where we can slow time down, and sometimes we can speed it up, right? A lot of you might feel like, hey, time is going really, really fast. And that's how I feel most of the time. But I want you just to become more comfortable with time. I want you to become more comfortable with the concept of time being able to be manipulated. Okay, so that's what this divine interception, victorious and nebulous environment is all about. All right, so they also told me that there are going to be 5 things that you are going to recognize if you are in divine time. All right. And so I'm going to talk to you about those things. Okay. So, number one, you see synchronicities. Okay. So, synchronicities are those things that show up, and they're messages. They're like winks from the universe, right? They are number patterns. They could be like I started seeing the number 717 over and over and over again. They could be 222, 333. People see like those repeating number patterns. Or it could be something different for you. It could be a sign like a bird. You always see an eagle flying overhead when you're thinking about something, things that remind you, a lot of people see feathers to remind them of their angels, or they see coins. Maybe you're always seeing the same, pennies that are, outside of your parking space, things like that. So, anyways, synchronicities are an indication that you are in divine time. And you can start to call in synchronicities as well. So if you want to see a certain sign or a certain pattern or a certain, um, you just want to, for example, you could ask the universe, "Am I in divine time? I would like to get into divine time. I choose," right? Because everything is a choice, right? So we have to set our intentions. So you can say, "I choose to be in divine time." And you can declare what synchronicity you want to see, or you could just wait and just you could even just say, "Show me a sign that I'm in divine time." Okay. And then see what the universe brings you, because trust me, it will bring you something. And so that is the beauty of being in this realm, is that we can create magic in our lives, and we can create things that you just don't even think about sometimes, right? So this is what I want to share with you. So these synchronicities, they're amazing how often they show up. I'll look at my mileage, how many miles have I driven in my car? And by the time I get back home, this happened to me just the other day. The mileage was 171.7. All right. So there's that 17. It's always showing up. It's hilarious. Um, and I would love to know in the comments, what synchronicities are showing up for you guys, because I love to hear your stories. Okay. So, number two is you feel time speed up or slow down. Just like I was saying, we have that ability, right? I was at a conference once, and we had a 15-minute break in between sessions, and it was a business conference, and I met this lovely lady um, during the break. And so we started talking, and it was just one of those things where, it felt like I knew this person. I'm sure she was a soulmate connection on some level, from my soul family. And it turns out that it felt like we had been talking for much longer than 15 minutes by the time we finished our conversation. But when we looked at the time was perfect, and it was just time to go back. So, and she and I looked at each other like, wow, that was weird. We just slowed time down so that we could have enough time to actually have our conversation. So, so I want you to start to play with this a little bit and see if you can manipulate the time like this. Okay, so number three is things or people that used to matter don't anymore. All right, so when you start to get into divine time, you're actually going to be raising your vibration, and you're going to be changing energetically because you're tuning into more of the fifth dimensional reality. Okay, so you can think of divine time as we're moving out of this linear time, and when we're in divine time, we're moving into this new space and this new experience. And um, so what we mean by things or people that used to matter don't anymore, it's like things that were important to you will start to shift, and you will notice how your behavior, your actions, your inspirations, all of these things are going to shift for you. Okay, so pay attention to that, and it's all good too, by the way. I've certainly dropped a lot of people out of my life who I used to be friends with, who I used to connect with, and I have new friends now, right? You get new friends who are more in alignment with where you're at, and it's all good. It's all appropriate. So don't feel bad about that. Find somebody to play with in this divine time. Find somebody you can experiment with and see if you can slow time down, you know? Okay. Also, number four is you seek spiritual truth. All right. So when you get into divine time and you start to see those synchronicities and you start to actually recognize that you can manipulate time, you will start to wonder about your spiritual self. You will start to acknowledge that you have more than just this body and this experience. You're so much more than just the earth energy, right? You're so much more than just this body on earth. You are actually a multi-dimensional being of light. And because of that, you have abilities that are way beyond what you could possibly understand. And so, part of this ascension pathway and growing in your knowingness is to see that you can actually um, keep seeking the spiritual truth, and you're going to receive spiritual truth once you step onto this quest. All right. So it's such a beautiful thing. It really is. Number five, things or people show up when you need them. Okay, so this is another cool thing. So not only do we have just those synchronicities that are like the signs from the universe saying, okay, yeah, we're getting the little winks from the universe, but what is the point of that? Well, the point of that is to show you that, hey, guess what? We're also going to be bringing you exactly what you need when you need it. And I do work with Archangel Shamuel, who's amazing. By the way, if you ever need to find something quickly, that archangel is like the master of lost and found. I'm not kidding you. I find stuff like so fast. It's so cool. And you can just ask Archangel Shamuel for stuff like that. And I want you to realize that your team is not just like humans, okay? You can call on any of the ET groups. You can call on the Pleiadians. That's who I communicate with. You can call on the Syrians, the Andromedans, the Hathors, the Arcturians. You can call on any of those ET groups that you feel called to communicate with because they want to communicate with you. And you can also call on any of your angels and guides. And you don't even have to know like which one, you can even just call on divine, divine source. And divine source will relay whatever you need to know. So we can have conversations with these beings. We can have conversations with things beyond what we see and what we understand. And we can use that information to assist us in our lives. And we can use it to manifest in our lives. We can use it to create more abundance in our lives because we have that option. Okay. So you just need to start playing with this a little bit more, start to have a little more fun. Everybody takes things so seriously. And sometimes it's just like, wow, okay, yeah, we're struggling. Yeah, this is tough, but it's like, okay, at the end of the day, sometimes we just need to lighten up and invite more assistance in. Right? And the same goes with time. Okay. So if you feel like you don't have enough time, well, maybe you just need to start organizing yourself a little bit. You need to start scheduling. Hey, I'm going to do this. I am, and by the way, I would highly recommend that you start meditating at least once a day. Usually I recommend first thing in the morning or right before you go to bed. And if you do nothing else in your life, if you don't listen to anything else I have to say, that is the one thing that I would recommend that you do, because that is when you tune inward, you are able to create and co-create so much more than you could possibly imagine. So you could start to create some new statements around time. And my guides actually gave me some statements last night because they knew I was going to be doing this today. And so I'm going to help you out here. All right. So here's a good one. Okay. So they said, share some positive intentions with time that you currently use. Number one is I am ageless. Okay, so this one kills me more than anything else because people have such hangups over age. It's like, oh, you hit 40. Oh, you're over the hill. Oh, you're 50. Oh, you're going to start getting sick. Oh, you're going to have all these problems. Oh, you better go get this or that checked. You have, because people start to have problems in their, 50s when this happens. And I just laugh at that because it is so arbitrary. And when you claim your agelessness, guess what? You don't worry about it. And then your body naturally knows how to heal. Your body is naturally healthy. We are the ones who put these limiting beliefs in place and we allow illness to come in. okay? It's all emotionally based. So if you feel good about your body, if you feel good about who you are, if you feel young, and of course you need to do practical things like exercise and eat properly and things like that, but if you feel like you're actually ageless and you recognize that, then you will tend to choose more healthy outcomes anyway, right? So this is one that I really recommend because people ask me how old I am, and my answer is always, I'm ageless. Because honestly, that's how I feel. And feel free to use that one because it is, I'm telling you, it is one of the best ones. Okay. The next one is, of course, I am on time. I am on time. So when you're running a little bit late and you know you're running a little bit late, slow that clock down so that you can be on time, just like I did for the courthouse. And it may work, it may not work, but at least if you're putting in the intention, it's like when I ask for parking spaces with anytime I know that I'm going to go out and I have a busy parking lot and there, like, I definitely need a parking space. I just call in my parking angels and they always bring me a parking space. I get some really killer parking spaces, but I always anticipate that I'm going to get a parking space, So it's the same thing. It's like what we expect is what we receive. Okay. So if you expect to be on time, you're going to be on time a lot more than not. Okay. Here's another one. I am generating more time for whatever it is. Okay. So let's say, for example, that you want to start meditating. You know, meditating is good for you. So if you declare to the universe, I am generating more time for meditating, and then you actually put it on your calendar, like, okay, I'm going to meditate tonight right before I go to bed. I'm going to stop looking at my phone. I'm going to stop looking at my TV, maybe just 20 minutes earlier. Give yourself that time, right? And the more you create these good habits, the more you end up being really moving into that divine time. All right. I find time for whatever. Okay. So here's the next one. So let's say you want to bring in more play. I find time for play. I find time to enjoy my life. I find time to do whatever activity it is that I enjoy doing. For me, it would be maybe skiing or hiking or flying my airplane. You know, I find time to fly my airplane. Okay. Time is on my side. So, this is having a relationship with time. Pretend that time is your best friend. Time is my best friend. Time is always on my side. Time is not my enemy. You've heard people say that, right? Time is your enemy. No, time can be your friend. Time is my best friend. I have all the time I need. Okay. Just you see how this changes your mindset. Here's another one. Any or all of these are great places to start. Yeah. So we can also do time is malleable, right? Time is malleable. So we can start thinking about time being something that we can shift. Okay. So time is malleable. So I want you just to soak in all of these new intentions, and I want you to play with them. I want you to have fun with them and just see how this works for you. Okay. So let me know in the comments how this works for you. So next week, I am going to be talking about the value of restriction, which seems like an oxymoron, right? It seems like, wow, what value could that be? So sometimes it is good to be in restriction, and I will talk about that next week. And also, if you are interested, I am so excited to be sharing a new call that I'm doing. It's a free abundance discovery session. If you are looking for more abundance in your life, if you want to create more of what you love in your life, more money, more health, more time, more playfulness, uh, different job, whatever this is, connecting to your higher self, connecting to your highest potential, being in alignment with the cosmic heart. All of these can be intentions that you can create. Um, this is what I am helping people with. So just go to ascension17.com and you can start your process for the free training. And until next time, I always wish you infinite abundance and I wish you a beautiful divine time. And thank you so much and have a beautiful day.